I'm going to graph the quadratic equation y equals 2x squared plus 3x minus 9. So this equation is in general form, and we are going to want it in standard, also known as vertex form, for us to graph it easier. However, there is one thing that we can do while it is in general form that will be easier in general form, and that is to find the y-intercept. To find the y-intercept, we set x as 0, giving us y equals 2 times 0 squared plus 3 times 0 minus 9. Now this simplifies to 0 plus 0 minus 9, or just y equals negative 9. That is the y-intercept. Now we need to complete the square on the first equation so that we can get it into standard form. And the way we do that to complete the square is, the first step is to factor out the a term out of the first two terms with an x. A in this case is 2, and so we factor it out, giving us y equals 2 times x squared plus 3 over 2x all minus 9. The second step is to insert two special numbers after the 3 over 2x. And the way we find those special numbers is to first divide the 3 over 2 by 2, giving us 3 over 4, and then to take the 3 over 4 and square it. That gives us 9 over 16. 9 over 16 is our special number, and so we insert one positive and one negative, giving us y equals 2 times x squared plus 3 over 2x plus 9 over 16 minus 9 over 16, all minus 9. Now we haven't changed anything because plus 9 over 16 minus 9 over 16 would just simplify to 0, so it is still mathematically correct. Now the next step is to move the negative 9 over 16 outside of the parentheses. Y equals negative 2 times x squared plus 3 over 2x plus 9 over 16, parenthesis. Now, we have to make sure to multiply the negative 9 over 16 by the 2 out in front. And when we do that, to move it outside the bracket, that will give us negative 18 over 16, which is the same as negative 9 over 8. Still minus 9. Now, the next step is to factor this trinomial inside of the parentheses. And when we factor it, the number that will be added to x is always the same as the coefficient of x divided by 2 that we took to find our special number, which in this case was 3 over 4. And so this trinomial is going to factor to x plus 3 over 4 times x plus 3 over 4, as it is a perfect square trinomial. Still, minus 9 over 8 minus 9. And now the final step to completing the square is just to simplify. When we simplify, it gives us y equals 2 times x plus 3 over 4 squared. Now, negative 9 over 8 minus 9 gives us negative 81 over 8. And now the equation is in standard form. And we also know the y-intercept. Y-intercept being 0, negative 9. Now we need at least 3 points to graph this equation. So another point that we might find would be the vertex. When the equation is in standard form, it is easy, very easy to see the vertex. Vertex is always p, q, and p is the number that is added or subtracted from x. Q is the number on the end. And when taking p, we always have to take the opposite sign. So that is going to be negative 3 over 4, comma, negative 81 over 8. That is the vertex. And now we just need 1 or 2 more points to graph this. How about we find the x-intercepts? The x-intercepts are found by substituting 0 for y and simplifying. 0 equals 2 times x plus 3 over 4 squared minus 81 over 8. First, we can add 81 over 8 to both sides, giving us 81 over 8 equals 2 times x plus 3 over 4 squared. Next, we can divide both sides by 2. This will give us 81 over 16 equals x plus 3 over 4 squared. And now we need to take the square root of both sides. The square root of 81 over 16 is positive or negative 9 over 4, and the square root of x plus 3 over 4 squared is just x plus 3 over 4. And now we can see that there are going to be 2 x-intercepts. The first will occur if we take the positive 9 over 4 and then subtract the 3 over 4. This will give us 6 over 4, which simplifies to 3 over 2. So one x-intercept occurs when x is 3 over 2. Now the other x-intercept can be found by taking a negative 9 over 4 and then subtracting 3 over 4. That will give us a negative 3 for x. And those are our 2 x-intercepts. Now we have enough points to graph this equation. Here we have a graph already drawn out. And let's start by graphing the vertex. Negative 3 over 4 for x will be negative 0.75, which will be about here. Now we have to travel negative 81 over 8, which is equal to about negative 10.125 in the y direction. Negative 10.125 down gives us this, and that is our vertex. Now we can graph the y-intercept at 0, negative 9, right here. And the first x-intercept occurs at 3 over 2, comma 0. So that will be about right here. And the next x-intercept is negative 3, comma 0, right here. And now we have enough points to draw the graph, which will look like this. And we are done.